Have you ever wanted to do, to be, or to achieve more in life? Well, if you're listening to the show, I gotta believe that you do. And you probably also know that there's no one path to success because success is different for each of us. No matter what path you're on, productivity is how you advance along that path. It's what keeps you from straying on to others and getting lost. Welcome to the show. I'm Zavertnik. Each week, we take a personal, professional development topic, pull it apart, and distill it all down to give you practical mindset tools and applications for your own life so that you can grow unstoppable. Today's episode, I want to talk a little bit about productivity and how to be productive, especially in times of crisis and uncertainty like this, because it's really important. It gives you something that you choose as important to focus on. It gives you something to strive towards. Teaches you that in spite of what's going on, that you can still get things done. It makes you think a little bit differently about adversity and what's going on in the outside rest of the world when you're focusing on what you need to get done. It increases your confidence and your well-being. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Really, a lot of it comes down to dopamine, the chemical. It's the feel-good chemical. It's what we chase after. We're designed to do things that feel good. In the ancient days, that led us to, things that helped us survive. Today, we reverse engineer things that aren't necessarily good for us to trigger that dopamine hit. It's what causes addictions. We're going to see how that all relates to productivity. We're going to talk about doing a dopamine detox and eliminating the distractions. And then I'm going to walk you through my Get It Done productivity planner to help you choose one thing to work on and focus on and outline exactly how you're going to accomplish it. We're in the middle of April, so over the next 6 weeks before June. And so why am I doing this? Because I see so much stuff online right now just bashing people trying to take advantage of the opportunity. Now, yes, what we have going on is very tragic for some and very serious, and I think we all need to take it seriously. I've expressed that over the last few episodes. And if you're not in a place to be proactive and take advantage of the shift in the environment, great. Not everybody is. But one post in particular kind of got me a little heated this past week. And they were talking about you don't need to thrive. You don't need to start a business. Sometimes you just need to survive and make it through this. And I'm like, yeah, we do need to survive and make it through this. And if that's your goal, then great. But guess what? We're designed and wired to survive. The vast majority of us still have our basic needs of food, water, and shelter met. As soon as those needs start going into scarcity, we turn into different people to survive. We rapidly adapt. We're designed to survive. So if your survival mechanisms to literally keep you alive aren't kicking in, i.e., you have the luxury of being able to listen to this show right now, you're not there yet. So that means it's a choice. Do you want to look back on this and be proud of how you acted? Or do you want to regret not taking the opportunity to be productive and do something? We've been given a gift. The whole world was busy. We were always busy before. Everybody was so busy doing really not much. It was just that we didn't want to choose to prioritize and commit to things and do what was important to us. We now have an opportunity to do that. So whatever that is for you, whatever's coming up in your head right now, that thing that you've wanted to do for a while, that you've wanted to get to, but you just haven't had time for, or haven't made time for, let's think about that. And so why don't we be productive all the time? Why aren't we more productive just normally? Well, a lot of it comes down to dopamine. That chemical kind of runs our brain and tells us to keep doing things that feel good and don't do things that don't feel good. Well, guess what? That's why productivity is important, because when you are moving the needle forward on something that is important to you, that you choose, and you can see that and feel that and watch that happen, and then finally achieve that goal, one, that teaches discipline, and then two, that's good dopamine. It's not the short hits you get from everything else we're doing throughout the day. It's good long term, and it gives you the discipline and the drive to go more, be more, and do more. So where are you at right now with dopamine? How much social media are you consuming? Because guess what? Every single one of those apps triggers dopamine. Most of those companies hire psychologists, behavioral scientists, neuroscientists to make their apps more addictive. If you look at it, Facebook is an advertising company. They're not a social media company. They make money off of mobile ads. That is, I think the last stat I heard was like 80+% of their revenue is from mobile ads, which means an ad gets shown to you, they get paid money. And if you click on an ad, they get paid money, depending on how you run your ads. I think it's mostly shown. I'll have to double check that. But every 4 to 5 posts is a sponsored post. Somebody has paid for that post to be in front of you. I have my public profile page on Facebook. The current algorithm says that of the, I think, 30 people that follow me, 13% will see that, because they want you to buy ads. If you have content that you want to get seen by your audience on Facebook, you need to pay for it. And so they want you in there. They want you to see those ads and pay money, because that's how they get paid. They re-engineer these things to be addictive. It's just as bad as cigarettes and alcohol for some people. There's people now, you go around with, like, they can't live without their phones. It blew a friend away when they came over. They met up at my apartment and we went out to dinner, and my phone was on the counter, and I swear she asked 3 or 4 times, "Are you sure? Are you sure you don't need it?" And I'm like, "No, I'm hanging out with you guys. I don't need my phone with me. I'm going to be engaged with you in conversation." What else are you doing to get those short little dopamine hits? Sugar. Sugar's definitely doing it to you. Are you drinking sugar-sweetened beverages? Is it hitting 8 o'clock in the evening and dinner was only a couple hours ago, and you're going crazy and you're like, "I'm not even hungry. I just want to eat something," and you usually go for something sweet like some ice cream or some chips in the cupboard or some cake. Part of it, that's blood sugar, but a lot of that's because we are so used to that quick hit of feel good, because that's quick energy for us. What are you doing throughout the day? Are you sticking to a routine? Are you focused on what you need to do? Especially if you're working from home, are you taking the telework tips I gave you a couple episodes and putting those into practice? Do you have a dedicated space to focus on work? Or do you feel like, you're just going through the day, getting distracted? Oh, look, let me do a little laundry here. Let me do this here. And you're not really getting anything done. So now we need to talk about removing some of those distractions and doing a dopamine detox. What's giving you those dopamine hits for the day? Let's go through it. Wake up, like if I eat, I don't eat till noon. Noon is the earliest during the day now that I will eat, because I get so much more done and I'm so much more productive. And then anything I eat, especially at first, I try to keep it super light and super bland, just enough to keep my body going. to where I can be as productive as long as possible and stay focused on it, because any eating, digestion takes so much energy for our body. Yes, it's where energy comes from. So we have to look at feeding ourselves the right things. If we're just going straight for sugar, that's quick hits, that's going to cause our energy to spike, and then we're going to crash, and we're going to need naps in the afternoon just to keep going. I'm not demonizing naps. I take them every once in a while. Don't freak out. So what are you eating? How much are you eating? What are you doing instead of the big ticket items that you know you need to work on? How much TV are you watching? How many video games are you playing? How much are you on your phone? All of those little things add up. As soon as you check it, boom, it's right here. Check my phone. Boom, it's right here. Check my phone. Boom, and next thing you know, an hour's gone by and you've spent half of it on your phone, and you've barely built up enough traction and focus to get anything real accomplished. All of these things combine to make us wildly unproductive. And then our environments are set up to make us unproductive. And at the end of the day, we feel bad because we didn't get anything done. So all that during the day, we can't force ourselves to do anything. And at the end of the day, we're disappointed in ourselves. And that spiral, that downward spiral, can lead to some pretty bad places for some people. So we got to eliminate it. You got to exercise that discipline and willpower muscle for just a couple weeks. Trust me, if you can cut out some things that are causing that quick hit dopamine for a couple weeks, and you start focusing on what's important, you start planning your day, you're going to be wildly productive. And you're going to be super excited to do things that you didn't want to work on before, because you've eliminated all of the distractions, and now that's the fun thing for you to chase after. For me, it's working on my business. I'm rolling out a whole lot of stuff right now because I took all that time and got refocused, and I'm like, boom, now I'm going. It's because I readjusted and put all these routines into place, and it's finally paying off after adjusting to working from home, adjusting to this pandemic environment, getting accustomed to new expectations from, myself, just day to day, what I need to do errands wise, what I need to do work wise. And you go. I looked at what I needed, and now I'm trying to eliminate everything else. I meal prepped. All of my meals are planned out for the week. I stick to that. Very rarely will I jump out and eat something else that I don't need to. I'm extremely structured because that day-to-day discipline allows me to stay more on target with what I want to work on during the day and get more done. And I have more energy to show up for the people that I'm connecting with, which is uber important on my priorities list. So what do you need to eliminate to where you can focus on what's important? And then finally, let's pick something to do. So if you're in the car, please continue to do car and safe driving things, although I think a lot of us aren't, since, we're all quarantined. I don't know if you guys noticed, I got my sweet quarantine beard going on for those of you on video. Kind of liking it. I'm 2 to 3 weeks in, I think. Filling in nicely. I'm excited to see how far we can take this thing before I have to go back into the land of the living. But back to productivity. If you're not driving, go ahead and head on over to the blog page. If you're subscribed to my email list, you will have gotten the email on the day this launched that has a link directly to it. But if not, go to stephenzavertnik.com, hit blog, find this latest blog, or it's just right down there on the homepage. Click on it and you scroll down and it's going to say companion. This is what we're doing for every episode going forward. At least it's my intent. We'll see how that goes. You can click the link to download the Get It Done Productivity Planner. So what I want you to do is think of something that you would like to get accomplished, probably around the house or with a business or at work, something that you can reasonably do by June 1st. June is your deadline. So that's 6 weeks. So sit there and I want you to think about it. They're like, all right, what do I want to accomplish in 6 weeks? Just pick one thing. You're going to write that down at the top. And then, so we have 6 weeks, right? So I put 6 lines there. I want you to break this project out into 6 phases. One thing to focus on each week. So whatever you need to get that done. If it's, say I want to build a bench for the porch in 6 weeks because it's springtime and we want to spend more time outside. So maybe week 1 is planning, week 2 is getting all the materials, week 3 is prepping all the materials and cutting, week 4 is assembling, week 5 is staining, and then week 6 is sealing. So yeah, I took a 1 weekend project for a lot of us and broke it out. But sometimes, we don't have that much time. If you're running around being a full-time parent, excuse me, and now suddenly being a teacher and homeschooling as well, and trying to work from home, you got a lot more on your plate right now. But man, wouldn't a bench on the porch be nice? Let's go, so work through that, break that down into those 6 phases. And so those 6 phases just become your weeks. And then from those, you can make checklists for each week. I'm a checklist guy. I like checklists, so that's my method. I didn't put anything on here for that. But we have those. And then below that, I want you to look at a specific time during the week, a specific day or a specific time of day, every day that you can work on that. Pick a time that you can dedicate. Go into your calendar and make an appointment. This is the time that I am working on this one project. And if it's this week, this is what I'm doing. Or if I need to do these tasks, this is what I'm doing. So you pick that time, you lock it into your calendar, communicate with who you live with, be like, hey, I am going to build this bench by June 1st. Every Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon, I'm going to work on it. This is what we're going to do. Communicate it. That helps keep you, honest and true to yourself and accountable because you're going through that. And then 2, it helps you get support. You're getting excited. The next thing is people and help. A lot of us tend to go it alone and just try to figure it out, but many of these things can be vastly easier if we get people involved. And it becomes a lot easier to stay on track if we look for how this project is going to serve us or serve others in the future. So in the people section, I have 2 slots. Who can I ask for help? And how are they going to help this go faster than if I was to do it on my own? And then who else is going to benefit from this project being done? Or who is going to benefit from this project being completed? It could just be you. Do something for yourself. Treat yourself. Or if you're going to build a bench for the porch, hey, my family will have enough room to sit out there and enjoy this nice weather for the spring. People are important in our lives, especially right now when we don't necessarily have the interaction that we used to. And then the final piece of this is I want you to take a minute, close your eyes. Again, not if you're driving. Please be safe. But close your eyes and sit there and visualize this project being completed. You are sitting there and you're presenting this beautiful bench on your porch to your family. Your wife and kids love it. They're sitting out there. You're enjoying some drinks one evening, some lemonade or some wine, whatever flavor you have. And you're seeing it, and everybody loves the bench, and it looks amazing. And you look at all the hard work you did to accomplish that, and you stuck to it, and you feel amazing. Doesn't that feel awesome? Like, just sit there for a moment. And then describe how that feels in that last block. Just describe that and hold on to that. And holding on to that feeling is how you get back to and how you itch to go work on it every day. And I don't know about you, but usually when I really break projects down and plan them out like that and get excited and have all the other things in my life and not being distracted by other stuff, man, I get super excited and usually get things done way faster. It builds confidence. It builds my confidence in my skills and abilities to figure things out. And then that means I just start on something else and keep rolling that. That's momentum that you can capitalize on to start doing the things that you want to do with your time, with your life that you have. And so it's the Get It Done Productivity Planner. Head to the website, download it. If you're not receiving the emails, I'm just starting up the emails again. I had some issues and I honestly didn't really care when I was starting the podcast, but now we're getting into it because I'm doing the worksheets. I want to send you links to the worksheet if you're a listener. That way it's just easier for you. And I'll send you another email later on throughout the week just to keep you motivated, just to keep you grounded in life, give you something to think about. So sign up for the emails. I'll put the link in the description of the show. Finally get to our recommendation of the week this week. Lines perfectly with productivity and the Get It Done Productivity Planner. And it really helps you focus on moving the needle for what's important to you. It's a book called The One Thing, The Surprisingly Simple Truth Behind Extraordinary Results by Gary Keller. It's a relatively short little book, and he breaks down how and why you should choose to focus on one main thing. You slowly start diverting more and more time and energy to that one thing. And so I really want to know. Comment below or come find me on social media and comment on the post on Facebook. What will you be known for? What's going to be your one thing? That's the show this week. Talking about productivity. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. You're giving me your time, your life, and I am truly grateful for that. And with that, I will talk to you all next week.